The Dolphins have every intention of walking out of today's game with win number 4 on the season. It's the Browns going up against the Dolphins.
Larry, we come to you from a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls with an 11th on the way in 2020. Yes, we are in beautiful Miami, Florida. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They're led out by their strong-arm quarterback out of Texas A&M. It's Ryan Tannehill.
I think one of the things I like about Ryan Tannehill's game is that he understands what his receivers are looking for downfield. He played that position at Texas A&M before becoming the starting quarterback. So a lot of times when he's in the pocket looking downfield, he's actually running the routes with the receivers as he remembers them.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Jalen Collins. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. After the interception, here's Wilson. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Used to have a coach just tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use on paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Throwing is Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. He's got his target. It's Coleman for a Browns touchdown. Corey Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
The numbers for Crowell in last week's game. 15 carries, 93 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Raekwon McMillan not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carry from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully. But here's the thing. If you've seen that on tape, your offensive line is going to have to ask for help. Tight end has to stay in. If you use a fullback, keep him in. Make sure you have extra people to try and keep your quarterback upright. Didn't work on that play.
So completion on 2nd down, that brings up 3rd.
Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Myles Garrett in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too...
He's got a man complete. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This fielded at the 2. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Looking to throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Reggie Ragland not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is fielded at the 7. Nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham Jr. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 76 yards. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
They run a draw here on second down. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it fourth down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
This time Wilson will throw. Steps away to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. To the right side and complete to Njoku. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Wilson now off the bootleg. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Beckham will go in motion right. On third down, Wilson. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete as well.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And out come the Dolphins now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Reggie Ragland in there to get him. His second sack now of the afternoon. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And a stoppage here. A timeout before this third down play takes place. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Dolphins on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Emmanuel Agba. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1?
Every single time.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Play action. It's Wilson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards. On first down, Wilson escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
They'll let it go deep for Beckham, and that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball. Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's 1 step in the proper direction. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So we come upon half, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Second down following the run. The slot man in motion right. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a third down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On third down, Wilson buying time to his left. And that's a big collision. He's knocked backward as they will mark him down. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
A first down carry now for Crowell. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Browns are pouring it on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Dolphins on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now a handoff working right. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
He'll look to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now a first carry for their fullback. Given 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Back to throw. He sets to fire deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. They give him a gain of 38. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know, all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Raekwon McMillan in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out. Back now in Miami, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And his kick is indeed good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And did the Dolphins get it? Yes! Miami football. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are 2 very tough things to do.
Takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs them. The kicking team gets the football here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it a second down.
Watch number 86. Here we go. 319.
He'll drop to throw. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Wide open receiver complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try to open things up in the run game.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of thing.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Koamisi in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On 2nd down, Johnson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. That one good for 12 yards. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
It looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
Throw left side complete. That's Marshall. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here we go with Johnson. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Reggie Ragland able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They keep it with Crowell on first. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here. The blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Throwing is Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a fourth down. Fourth down. Here's Wilson. He finds Beckham complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And they can't connect, incomplete, but that stops the clock with 1 tick remaining here in this first half.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Second and 10 now, Wilson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this one incomplete. Well, apparently taking a knee is not in vogue. They're not able to add another touchdown on. And now the ball game is over.